What's going on, everybody in the VC? Craig here with another vinyl update and some VCLT and CCLT as well. Not a whole bunch to show, but you know how I am. I show a dozen things and it takes me 6 hours to show them. So I've got to fucking talk. So, try to consolidate this a little bit. First and foremost, VC chair. Hope everybody's doing well. As always, right off the bat, I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I don't think I've really thanked anybody lately. I feel like a jackass. I do these videos with hope that people watch them and they're going to comment and they're going to like, and I haven't been disappointed yet. You know, there hasn't been one video where, you know, only 10 people watched it and that's it. You know, and nobody gave a shit. Since day one, since I started making videos, getting subscribers and comments and PMs, and then getting stuff sent to me and me sending stuff back, all this stuff, you know. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't do this, in all reality. I mean, I guess if I had one sub, you know, I'd probably, like, maybe do a video, but, I mean, I'm, you know, nearing close to the 500 mark, you know, still got a little ways to go, but, I mean, that's a fucking monumental spot. You know, I remember seeing certain members back, you know, I want to say at least 6 months to a year, 2 years ago, when they were hitting, you know, close to those numbers, and I'm like, holy shit, wow. Like, hope to get there one day. And oddly enough, I'm getting closer to those numbers. It's blowing my mind every day. So, thank you to everybody, all my old subscribers, all of the new ones. Slowly, it seems like almost every day there's at least 1 or 2 new subscribers. So, welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here. Stay tuned. As always, there's plenty of stuff for me to show and words for me to ramble on about. So, what's playing in the background? Little Let There Be Rock, AC/DC. I had to do this in honor of Bon Scott's birthday. Definitely a guy we all miss. Great frontman. You know, what a lyricist and a singer. You know, definitely defined what AC/DC, you know, really was. And then they obviously took it to the next level with Brian Johnson. But, you know, the talent that, you know, has not been equaled, you know, for what he brought to the table, in my opinion. You know, hundreds of great frontmen after him, but Bon Scott is in a league of his own. So definitely an AC/DC fan. So let's get into all the cool shit I want to show. So first up, some CCLT from my brother Jeff, Glowing 00 Cabbage. First of all, dude, thanks so much. You know, I thank you a bunch over on the Facebook page, you know, PM and stuff like that. But dude, some killer cassettes he sent over my way. Long story short, I know I'm actually gonna try and do one of those. Jeff had posted some pictures of some cassettes that he had for sale maybe a month or so ago, somewhere thereabouts, maybe a little bit longer. And you know, everybody was kind of throwing their name in the hat, you know, hey, I'm interested in this, hey, I'm interested in that. So I had, you know, asked him, you know, if certain ones are still available, hit him up, and we kind of talked price-wise and all this stuff, because he's up in Canada, so you got the shipping costs. And, well, I only ended up picking out a few, just because all the added shipping costs, it would have been fucking ridiculous to spend that much money on cassettes. But he ended up mistakenly forgetting about me and lumped me in with some other people that had actually ended up, you know, canceling their orders. And so we finally got in contact with each other, got everything situated, so all I had to do was end up paying the shipping, and he threw an extra cassette in, which was a fucking crazy added bonus. Like, not one of those, hey, that's cool, like, holy fuck, you threw that in? Yeah. So let's get into what those cassettes, the cassettes that I had originally chose were 3 from The Cure, so 17 seconds, and I won't pull all these out, but Canadian Black cassette. The Cure, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. Black cassette. This is Cure, Show. Clear cassette, but still very cool. And the surprise that he threw in, whoa, I saw this and about lost my goddamn mind. King of the Delta Blues Singers, Volume 2, Robert Johnson. Oh yeah, this and Volume 1 have been on my vinyl want list for a while, and they just don't pop up around here. When they do on eBay, and the prices get a little sketchy. I mean, yeah, I really want these, but not enough to, you know, pay some crazy money for them. But to get this one on cassette, and it sounds great, yeah, pop this one on the deck, sounds awesome, great addition to the cassette collection. So thanks again, Jeff, you rule, really appreciate it, man. Alright, on to the VCLT from my brother Travis. Now, if you haven't seen it already, Travis got my VCLT earlier today, and he shot a live opening for it. So, I got his last night, yesterday. Well, I came home last night, so that's when I got it. But I knew both things that were coming. Him and I mean, we literally talk like fucking schoolgirls. We're between texting during the day, you know, while I'm at work, and then late at night on Facebook messaging back and forth. I mean, that is one dude that, I shit you not, if we would have went to the same high school or grown up in the same neighborhood, we would have been at each other's houses every fucking day. You know? I mean, we vibe that well. I mean, same humor, around the same age. I think he's only like maybe a year or two younger than me. And I mean, we both kind of meet in the middle with our music tastes. Like, we have a lot of stuff that we vibe together on, you know, whether it's stuff from the, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, in terms of like classic rock and blues stuff. We definitely vibe on those. When you get more into the 80s, he definitely takes more of the alternative route and stuff like that, whereas I took more of the synth pop and hair metal and all the pop stuff, and kind of throw that one out there. So we kind of meet in the middle there, because there's certain alternative stuff that I listen to and some stuff that I don't get or don't have that he can kind of, you know, we kind of find each other's melding point. And it works great, you know, and so on and so forth, you know. Definitely love him like a brother, dude. You're an awesome guy. You're a great friend. You know, the VC has definitely connected me with some great people. And I've forged some great relationships here that I know transcend the VC, you know. I mean, there's plenty of people here that I talk to just within the, you know, on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. But to actually, like, you know, sit there and, you know, text on your phone while you're at work, you know, about, you know, random shit, or, you know, actually sitting there for hours at a time on the computer talking to somebody, you know, it's just crazy. So I know a lot of us, we've forged some great relationships, and these are ones that will last a long time, you know. So, Travis, I sent him my want list recently. I think it was last week, right? Was it last week? Sure. And immediately right off the bat, there were two things that I had on there that he was like, oh dude, my honey hole has them. So he ran out a couple days later and picked them up for me, and yeah, totally stoked. And these are beautiful shape too, so yeah, they don't fuck around at your honey hole, man. Alright, so first one up, definitely major props to Brand, Mr. Hall of Fame. He actually picked this one up recently, and I don't know how recent, maybe a few weeks ago, something like that. And I was like, oh fuck, man, I'm like, that's one I'm definitely needing to, like, you know, pop back on my radar. And don't really see a lot of their stuff around here. I've got a couple of their albums, and one of their albums on cassette, but this one I've only seen once, and it was a picture disc, and I'm not buying a fucking picture disc. And Maggie, I told you to keep an eye out in my next update. Ha! Mirror Moves by the Psychedelic Furs. Now, this is just killer. I gave this one a cursory listen last night, so I'd never heard it before. And great album, great album. Another one for the Psychedelic Furs collection. To now, this makes my third on vinyl, so Forever Now, Mirror Moves, and Midnight to Midnight. And I have a Talk on cassette, so, but definitely want to get some more on vinyl. So, love Psychedelic Furs. It's a great album. Highly recommend it. And the next one that he sent me was one that pretty much like one of the last ones I've been needing for my for this artist collection, and one that I've seen on eBay, and you just, you know, I don't want to pay astronomical prices. So, underneath the colors by In Excess, and this basically concludes In Excess 80s wise. So, basically now it's going to be everything from X on to find on vinyl. And the cool part is, this is actually an Australian import. So, very, very cool. Actually trying to find out. Yep. Sydney, Australia. And beautiful, beautiful shape. Cover's in nice shape. Vinyl is just like fucking pristine, perfect. We gave this one a spin last night. Oh yeah, definitely stuffed. I've had this one on cassette for shit, I don't even know, tons of years, long time, long time. So very glad to finally have it on vinyl. And thank you so much again, Travis. Really appreciate it. You rule. You're the man. You know I love you, brother. So on to my Soul Honeyhole find. Kind of weird to say that, but they haven't updated it at all. I know due to the weather situation we had a few weeks back, or however long ago, he hadn't been able to update that particular week, and then this past week still hadn't put on anything. And I know he was going to look at a couple different collections, but kind of surprised he didn't have anything, you know, to update. So we're going on almost a month of not having any new stock. So it's kind of at a point where it's good because I'm not buying a lot from there, but at the same time, like, I'd rather buy from there than fucking dig on eBay and then I start like shooting out, you know, $10 for an album that I, you know, almost know I could probably find for half that price, and it just gets ridiculous. But I did pick this one up a few weeks back, actually. I've just been holding off on showing it until I had another update. So, it's Stars, self-titled. Great, great, underrated 70s hard rock. Killer album. I think I had actually kind of talked about it in one of my videos not too long ago and said, like, I was thinking about picking it up, but I hadn't heard anything of it and wanted to kind of get some reviews on it. And went home, read a couple reviews, listened to a few tracks, and I'm like, alright, boom. Next time I'm in there, I'm picking it up. So, I did that. And very, very happy with that. So, on to, I got some eBay finds here. So let's jump into those. Some really, really cool shit. This one's been sitting around the house here for actually a couple weeks, and I had it in the background of one of my last videos. One that I've been wanting on vinyl for a long time. The Specials, self-titled. So, first album, great, great ska. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Madness and the English Beat. I had started listening to the Specials a bit when I was a kid, and I don't know, there was something about them that just wasn't catchy enough for me. I don't know, there was something different when compared to like Madness, to where like Madness I sort of clung onto right away and really was into them, but the Specials kind of took a little bit of time for me to, you know, really get it and grasp onto me. And super, super happy to pick this up. Got it for a really nice price, beautiful condition. Very stoked. And the next two were complete, like, well, actually one was a literally last minute find, and the other one I had been kind of watching and ended up like throwing a bid on and didn't even know I would actually win. But just kind of show up and talk. Ramones, Rocket to Russia. This is an OG. Now, no original insert, which sucks, but the whole reason I kind of went with this copy was because cover's in beautiful shape. One of the best, you know, covers I've seen on a Ramones album. A lot of them I see on eBay are pretty beat up, and the vinyl is like near fucking mint. Actually, it looks like it looks unplayed practically, and when I spun it too, it sounds like it's never been played. So that was a really cool find. I'd actually been watching it for a couple of days, and price was pretty cheap. I mean, definitely still under the sort of, you know, marker where I was like, okay, I don't want to pay too much. And it ended up being cheaper than trying to buy a reissue, which, I mean, reissue's fine. But the whole kind of breaking point was like, oh, it doesn't have the original insert. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, there's, you know, a decent amount of albums I have behind me, not too many, but a few that don't have the original inserts that are like, you know, practically grails for me, like my copy of Number of the Beast that I got from Vance. Great copy, love it to death. Consider it a grail. I don't have the insert for it. I don't have an original insert. I've got just a paper sleeve, you know, which he apologized, and that's cool. You know, it doesn't make or break me not wanting to keep the copy. I love it, and it'll stay in the collection forever. But you know, similar case here. You know, price was right, and I'm like, okay, the condition's practically brand new on this thing. I have to get it, and I actually shot a bid literally at the last second. I mean, with a couple seconds left, I'm kind of doing the eBay sniper thing, which I hate when people do that to me, but you kind of got to do it sometimes if you're really in a fight for something you want. And did that, threw in a bid literally at the last second, and happened to win it. And so, very, very excited about that. And this next one, I'll just show it and we'll talk about it. Radio Ethiopia by Patti Smith Group. Now, this one has been on my radar for a while, kind of off and on. You know, I've been watching more to try and get an original near-mid copy of Horses, but still no luck here. But I did get lucky in finding the OG, beautiful, beautiful OG this album. And this was one of those I found in its last, like, I think 9 or 10 minutes that it was left. And I had kind of like, you know, thought about it for a second. I'm like, I don't know. And then I started like, okay, well, let's see, you know, what they've been selling for. Let's see, you know, if it really is an OG. So I'm on Discogs, I'm on eBay, I'm on YouTube listening to it to make sure. I'm kind of like, you know, I haven't listened to this in a while. This is, you know, something I definitely want to get right now, you know, or is it just going to be a whole filler that I can get down the line? After all my research that I did in the span of time that it had pretty much left until it ended, you know, I figured, okay, this is worth a shot. No bids, really nice price. Okay, put a bid in, you know, right towards the tail end, and ended up winning it. I was the only bidder and everything, so fucking awesome. Still in the shrink, beautiful shape, sounds killer, totally stoked. So, those are my eBay finds. I got another one coming later this week, and I got one that I'm bidding on right now, which I hope I win. So that's a killer find. But I'm gonna keep those both a secret, and still got some more finds to show. So let's get into these, because I've got a grail. I forgot to mention, I've got a grail at the end of this video. So, you know what? We're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna show a fucking grail, dude. Like, you know what? We're gonna stop this, because I really don't want to start talking and have to, you know, stop. So much for being a short video. I am such a bad liar. Alright, so these last set of finds are from, I went out to Michigan to use, where I used to buy a ton of my vinyl. I really haven't been going there too often lately, just because I got my honey hole and eBay, and I had some other, you know, finds. And I've been trying to keep the prices, you know, down on what I'm spending, which isn't working, but, you know, I try to pop my head in there occasionally, and definitely glad I did. Just decided to jump on in and see if they had anything cool in the dollar bins, which definitely found some dollar bin stuff, and find some regular price stuff, which blew my mind, man. So, let's get into the dollar finds. Alright, first one up, which actually they gave me 3 for $1, so, because they love me there. First one up here gets, I don't know if it's, I don't want to sound white here and say Gilberto, but I'm guessing Gilberto or something along those lines. Number 2, recorded live at Carnegie Hall. You know, pretty nice shape on the cover. Vinyl is in nice shape. I mean, for, you know, 33 cents, I can't complain, but I mean, this thing, some scuffing. But you have to trust stuff that's on the black Verve label, or any Verve label for that matter. Oh yeah, and this was just killer. Total blind buy. I knew jazz, knew I'd probably dig it, and I really dug it. This was awesome. I totally recommend it to anybody. Check it out. You know, if you find yourself a copy and you find it for cheap, pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed. I got the 12-inch single for Big Time by Peter Gabriel. So much for the guy who doesn't collect 12 inches is now all of a sudden got a small collection of 12 inches. And shout out to my brother LJ. North Coast by Michael Stanley Band. So this is a band that my dad turned me on to when I was a kid. He's got a few of their albums. It didn't really click with me when I was younger, but you know, they've had this copy there, I think, probably 3-4 years, honestly, in their dollar bin, and I've never picked it up. They actually used to have a couple other ones. Stop putting your nose on my shit. Gotta love having a dog. And I hadn't really bothered to pick any of the stuff up. Like, I just really wasn't thinking about it. I'm like, Michael Stanley Band, yada yada yada. But then LJ started picking shit up, and I'm like, you know, maybe I should really give him another listen. Started listening again, and I'm like, oh shit, alright, cool, yep. I'll start buying them up, and by this point now, that was the only one they had left. So, kind of pissed, but I do see their stuff pretty regularly around here, so I know I can start accumulating more. And now on to the coolest fucking finds out of this entire video. Alright, first one up, definitely got a little bit of mini Grail status. You know, this is one I've been looking for a long time. One of my favorite artists. Definitely just a killer album. And I'm totally stoked to find it. And for cheaper than what I've seen it go for on eBay, way cheaper than, you know, the eBay prices. And those are prices that I just won't fucking pay for this album. And beautiful, beautiful shape. Minus some spine wear. This thing is in killer shape. The Pleasure Principle by Gary Newman. Oh man. Best known for the song Cars off of this album, but man, do I love me Gary. My Gary Newman, man. Dude, seriously. You know. And this was a sick album. I've been listening to this album already on CD for years, but to finally have it on vinyl, yes. Thank you. I am so excited. Other than the shitty ass spine wear, which, I mean, literally for like a split second I go, no. After I looked at the price, I'm like, yep, coming home with me. So, very stoked about that. And now on to the Grail. I could not, you know, well, I can't say I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this because, you know, I've seen this album actually a couple different times at that store, and I've seen it in person, you know, at another shop here in town, and it's not like, oh my god, oh, wow, I'm holding it in my hands type of Grail. It's more like this one I got for not only great price, condition, and like just everything kind of melded together in this one. Anytime I've seen it, that's the kind of store where they price everything really cheap. Not like, okay, you're buying, you know, the fucking butcher cover for $1 cheap, but I mean we're talking about like really good quality, you know, and like great stuff and really reasonable prices, like cheaper than what you're gonna find on eBay. And they've always been like that, you know, and I've taken good advantage of it. I wish I would have when I was younger, because there was a lot of stuff they priced out for really cheap, and I probably should have picked them up then instead of what I ended up having to pay for them on eBay, you know, 5 years later. So, but, you know, younger and didn't have the money or sensibility at the time. So anyway, I've been hunting for this album for years, trying to just find the right copy and the right price. Anytime I see this on eBay, it's going for astronomical prices. And by astronomical, I mean anything that's above $25 and above for, you know, something that's not sealed, you know, and it's like VG plus. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not paying $40, $50 for this. Like, I mean, I love this album, but not enough to spend that much money. But managed to find this, near mint, original press, 18 bucks. Yeah. You're coming home with me. Master of Puppets by Metallica. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, you have no fucking idea how, like, ecstatic I was when I really, like, I pulled out the vinyl. I'm like, okay, I'm betting this one's gonna be shot. Because the last time I saw a copy there, it was around the same price. They had a bunch of Metallica stuff, which I'm kicking myself now for not buying. But at the same time, I mean, I'm kind of anal when it comes to certain artists, and all my Metallica, you know, are in really nice shape. I don't want to have, you know, the Bastard Child one where it's, you know, like a VG, you know, copy of, you know, one album. I want everything to be, you know, fairly top notch. And I pulled this sucker out, and I'm like, whew, oh yeah, you're coming on with me. I don't care that I really don't have, you know, big funds to be spending, you know, but, you know, I've kept up on eBay and Discogs long enough to know that online you're going to be spending probably closer to double that before shipping just to get that album, so couldn't say no. So, the Grail find, yes. You know, my favorite Metallica album? No, I've already had that one on vinyl, and that's Ride the Light. But this album, definitely right up there. Right in second place. So, still need plenty more Metallica on vinyl. That makes my third one. Ride the Lightning, obviously, you guys have seen, and I have Death Magnetic, which I bought the day it came out. Kept it sealed up until about a couple weeks ago. Then I finally went on this weird streak where I was really afraid that all my vinyl that was sealed was warped. So I just had some bad luck, and I was just really getting weird about it. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I should not keep stuff sealed. I should open it up and listen to it, because what's the point? Even though I have cassettes that are sealed, and I have some sealed CDs, I just got this really weird thing about like having the sealed vinyl, which I think I still actually have a couple pieces that are sealed, but they're like, you know, dollar bin stuff. But I, you know, opened up my copy of Death Magnetic and made sure it wasn't warped, and then listening to it, I'm like, huh. Alright, I guess I'm, you know, happy that I opened it, you know, it didn't kill me. So I think I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sell it and all that other shit, I don't know. Alright, I'm done rambling. So, ending it off with a Grail, Master of Puppets, fuck yes, all my metalhead brethren, and you guys, totally stoked about that one. Totally stoked here, so. Still need Kill, Justice, and everything beyond, and the fucking EPs. I mean, I'm barely scratching the surface here, you know. Wish I could be like Travis and find the Creeping Death EP for $3. Lucky son of a bitch. I love you, brother, I'm sorry. Alright, anyway, enough of the fucking rambling and shit. Like I said, I got a couple more eBay things that are, you know, kind of in the works. I got some VCLT coming from a fellow VC member. I won't tell you guys who. My dog apparently wants to knock the camera. But other than that, we'll see where, you know, kind of vinyl finds happen. I'm going to try to eventually maybe jump into the 30-day vinyl challenge thing that I see everybody else is doing, between Mark and Sam, Bo, I think Jerry, Matt, I know Brandon, you know, he's talking about doing it along with Maggie. So, see if I, you know, I might try to jump on board here. We'll kind of feel out the weekend. Really don't have any extra money, but I'm going into a little bit of digging possibly this weekend, and that'll be about it. So, maybe starting next week. I do need to start my video series, which I believe I'll start probably later this week, going into next week, we'll see. But I won't divulge any of the details, but I will have a video series coming soon. So, on that note, everybody take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.